each and every one of these girls that are sitting here, the countless hours. And so for me, it's kind of personal because my daughter is a cheerleader and she knows many of these young girls that are here and has been around them. So it's definitely a great honor to be able to recognize them for their finish this year. And so at this time, you know, give them a round of applause. Girls, if you want to come up. Coach Norcia.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I do.
She can. You can talk to them now.
Oh, yeah.
But, hi, thanks for having us, friends. That almost brought me to tears. That was so kind and beautiful. But what I'd like to say on behalf of the team and really the community is that we were perpetually flattered by the amount of support that we received not only from the school board, but from personally our new superintendent. I don't know if any school district has had an athletic program or any team where the superintendent personally has honestly been so incredibly supportive and interested in our program. And as a parent of an athlete, as several athletes, I'm super excited about what the future holds with the support that we have coming into the district and the plans that we have for the future. To you guys, my favorite team ever, I'm crazy proud of you. I could not have expected more from you, honestly. Day in, day out, you were there every day, never missed a practice, never came late, never left early, never made an excuse. This is how I think you should live your life the rest of your life. The lessons that we learn in cheerleading day in and day out are the lessons that you'll carry out throughout your life, day in and day out, to make you successful. Super crazy proud of you. To the seniors, congratulations on your new position, and thank you all for your support.
Good job, ladies.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job.
We can get on that next time.
Look up here.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Should I cut some out? Can we start the meeting like that every time?
All right, so now the next item on the agenda is citizens' comments, so I'm sure nobody wants to follow that, but somebody's going to have to. So we'll go with Mr. Pulowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Robert Pulowski here, and I live at 12757 Chestnut Street in Southgate. First off, I'd like to congratulate our cheerleaders and our cheer coaches for all the hard work they pulled this season. They pulled a really good season, especially at the homecoming game, and I'd just like to recognize all the hard work you put in this year. Keep on bringing this team to victory, and let's bring another win next season. The second thing I'd like to bring up, if anyone does not know me, I'm a student and also a school board candidate for the 2022 election this year. Main focus this year, and also if I'm elected, is I'd like to focus on the transportation needs in this district. As you all know, the budget amendment goes before the board tonight and will be proposed to this board. As I've talked about in previous board meetings is the Smart Flex service. Like I've said before, I know the CEO, Dwight Farrell, and Deputy General Manager of Smart, Robert Kramer, and Dwight Farrell. We've worked dozens of times within districts, Oakland County, Macomb, including Wayne County, to bring different transportation needs instead of spending thousands and thousands of dollars on deemed transportation or other transportation needs within the 3 counties. I really would like to have this district focus on not just the reliability of transportation for students, but also think of the money that's going to cost to go into Dean Transportation when you're saving a lot more money to use a reliable transportation similar to Uber than having to spend thousands of dollars on Dean Transportation for the bus to show up late and then kids are late for school. Think of the big priorities and think of the main issues. I speak for students, I speak for parents. That's why I'm running this season for the election, because I care about our students. I care about what they need. And to have better and reliable transportation for students, especially working with a company since 1967, partnering with them, we'll be the first district to offer this transportation in this region. Think of the costs and think of our students, and I look forward to a happy outcome at the end of this budget amendment. But as always, thank you for the time and opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Pulaski. Okay, next we have Ms. Hinsman.
Good evening. I'm here with good news for the district also. I'm here, I'm Beth Hinsman, and I live at 14632 Reek Road. I'm here today to talk to you on behalf of the Southgate Education Foundation. This is our charitable foundation that we have to support the Southgate Community Schools. Our big fundraiser is coming up soon, April 22nd, and it is our Have a Heart Gala. Our first one that we held was in 2019, and it was a big success. That year we had over $20,000. We raised over $20,000 worth of grants that we put back into the schools. And the next year we started to raise money for through sponsors for a new gala, which unfortunately was cut short, and we weren't able to hold the gala because of COVID. We had a lot of generous sponsors that allowed us to keep the donations for the schools. So over the last 3 years, we've given out $20,000 worth of grants and $14,000 worth of scholarships to seniors that have graduated from our schools. So we're hoping to raise a lot of money at this gala. So we're inviting everyone in the viewing public to take part in this really fun night. The gala is at Crystal Gardens. It is April 22nd from 6:30 to 11 o'clock. During that evening, we have also our Southgate Hall of Fame. This year's inductees in our Southgate Education Hall of Fame are Mr. Mike Tashi, who is our a Southgate alumni, who was our first director of technology in our district. Ms. Cheryl Denman, who was also a Southgate alumni and served on our Southgate school board and was a Southgate city official for a long time. Ms. Grace Seitz, who served as our Asher coordinator and started the Advantage Academy at Asher School, which brought a lot of different choices to our young people at Asher. And Terry Lauber, thank you. Terry Lauber is our other inductee into the Hall of Fame, who was also a Asher teacher who ran our community food co-op and pantry and our community gardens. So we're inducting all 4 of those very worthy candidates into our Hall of Fame. So if anyone is interested in buying a ticket, there's $65 for a ticket, or $10 for a table of, $600 for a table of 10. They can get a ticket by contacting me, Beth Hinsman, at Davidson Middle School, or April Shuck at Davidson Middle School. And take your significant other and dance on the dance floor, and it's really a lot of fun. Full meal. And we hope to see you guys there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Beth. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak tonight who didn't get an opportunity to fill out a form? Thank you. All right, seeing no one, we'll go ahead and close the public comment and move on to the superintendent's update.
Yes, thank you. I am very honored and pleased to spend some time recognizing a group of people that don't get a lot of recognition or appreciation. They don't always get recognized or appreciated because a lot of the work that they do is behind the scenes. There are things that you don't see, but they took hours to prepare for, hours to plan for, and they're experiences that your children have every day at school. I'm thinking, for instance, of the National Junior Honor Society orientation and induction scheduled for DMS, and how hard the principal, Ms. Tackett, has been working, and Ms. Hinsman is working for that. I'm thinking about the day-to-day things that are happening at Beacon, the things that are happening at the high school, Anderson High School, as well as Asher, as well as each of our elementaries, Shelters, Grogan, and Allen, of course, and Boardline, all of them. Every single day our kids come to school, and they're coming into an environment and a place where a lot of work has been done to make sure that it's safe, to make sure that the opportunities are there, and that they're cared for. And those are our principals and administrators, and I am pleased to see that they are all here today. Over the last year and a half, they have been spending late hours contact tracing, problem solving, remote instruction, and how that was going to work, problem solving, the return to school in person and how that was going to work, supporting the needs of students who had been out of school for a very long time and figuring out how the school environment brought them in. I am pleased today, and I'd ask for them to stand up and be recognized by the Board of Education for the work that our administrators do. So please stand. And I also managed to get the announcement about the National Junior Honor Society in there. That is up April 5th. We also have an art show that's happening tomorrow night at 6 o'clock to 7 for elementary. That's at the Fish and Loaves Pantry. So our elementary board line, at least at a minimum, I think there are others as well that will have an art show presentation there. So we invite those. And I understand that there's a dodgeball tournament tomorrow from 5 to 6:30. The high school. So fun stuff ahead. And that's my update for today.
Thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is the consent, which consists of, excuse me, March 8, 2022 closed session and March 8, 2022 regular meeting minutes, an HR update, and expulsion hearing of Anderson High School student 19230. I'll go ahead and accept a motion on the consent agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Pomponio. Is there support?
Support.
Is that Mr. Sage?
Me.
Or Mr. Lamas, okay. Support by Mr. Lamas. Any discussion on the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the consent agenda passes. Brings us to action item number 1, which is the approval of the fiscal year 22 budget amendment. This one yours, Barb?
Who called me? Thank you.
slow. I hit the green button. No, it's good. It's taking a long time. So what's up? That's the connection that you're giving us. So what happened? All right, well, maybe I'm just gonna have
You need
to
a
go
minute?
along.
You want us to take a minute, or we can take 2 minutes if you want?
The other ones is right there.
For those of you who don't want to sit through this budget meeting, it would not be rude if you stood up and left at this point if you preferred.
The fun part of the meeting's over.
I know it's hard to
The rest of this is business, so.
stands up in the middle of a meeting sometimes is considered rude, but no offense taken.
Yeah, anything from here on out's not fun.
Yeah, because it was in the box.
I just,
We do appreciate you being
What
here,
did I do?
Thank you.
What's gonna happen?
and if you need extra credit or something and want to stay,
Have Jason sign
we
by
can, we can
corner.
vouch, we got lots of administrators to vouch for you being here.
Okay.
Had I known that earlier,
was
we
it.
could
All right, we gotta put this one in the box. I know which one. Okay, break's over.
True, I know you.
All right, so I had submitted for your review and approval the following proposed amended budgets for the general operating fund, special education fund, food service fund, community services fund, and the student school activity fund. There will be one last budget amendment in June for the 21-22 fiscal year. What I have up on screen here is what you all should have received in your board packet. It's just the general fund. And this time, I just would like to go over the amended budget assumptions and give you the revenue highlights that are different in this amendment versus the one that we had in November. So at this time, we have included increased student enrollment of 35 additional students from our estimated count. We have additional one-time special education revenue of $400,000. That was a nice surprise for us that we just received. We have Medicaid money and the amount of $200,000 that's going in. And child care cares grant award is in there for $364,187. And of that, there's $21,528 in that fund. That's projected latchkey indirect. But the total revenue we're looking at now is $49,009,574 in the proposed amendment. Then in our expenditures, Would you mind if you zoom in just a little? Here? It's blurry, see? Is there a way to fix that? Okay, well. How do we? No, I don't wanna fiddle around too much time, that's okay. But if I take this down to get it all on screen, hopefully they can see that. So the expenditure highlights are that all the currently negotiated contractual increases have been included in this amendment. The 2022 benefit cost increases are included. We have our contract with Forefront Services included. Direct hire of maintenance and ground staff is in this amendment. Direct hire of the Wayne Risa EL services staff is now included. We have 12-month administrative assistant positions for athletics and the Asher adult education, whereas those were previously 10-month positions. We have a new security guard at Davidson Middle School. We have direct hire of our medical aides to provide diabetic support. We have included additional funding for branding and marketing, and funding for the IB, PD, and startup costs. The Anderson High School athletic facility lawn and maintenance, field maintenance is in this budget. We have another transfer of additional $1.5 million to our capital project funds of one-time money. We have athletic funding for an additional JV golf coach, tennis staff, and increased football equipment. And we have startup costs of new construction on our Ford Line site. So, looking at the total of these expenditures, we're at $49,671,779 in this amendment. And we project a decrease to our fund balance of $662,205, which would bring our balance to $5,338,548.
Okay, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. We're skipping over number 2. Takes us to the new number 2, which is the old number 3, approval of the tentative agreement with SPSA.
Yes, I am pleased that we have reached an agreement with SPSA, and we are here today to ask you to approve that.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion?
I would
I'm
just,
sorry, any questions for staff?
no questions for staff. I just wanted to say on behalf of Mr. Green, he just wanted to mention that he wasn't unable to be here tonight. He had something personal going on, but he wanted to show his support for this.
Thank you. Bring the discussion back to the board and accept a motion on item number 2 or 3.
I wanted to say something, I don't know.
It'd be appropriate after we make the motion, yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and accept a motion, if there's one.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement between the SPSA and the Southgate Community Schools.
I second that.
Motion by Dr. Pomponio, supported by Mr. Estheimer. Any discussion? Sorry.
I just want to say thank you for your service. It doesn't go unnoticed because every time I pop in a building or see a sport or see anything, I'm seeing Mr. Kemp out talking to the parents and the community and Mr. Lyons talking to parents and just everyone doing above and beyond. So thank you for your service and I appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
Cheers to that. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, I also like to echo the remarks made by Dr. Pomponio and Mr. Green. Thank you so much for your service to our district.
Thank you. Okay, seeing nothing further, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the Medtronics mini CNC milling machine.
Mark Hansen, Assistant Principal at Anderson, also the CTE Director. I've been up here a few times asking for your approval of funds to be used for our CTE programs. Give you a little background on how funding for that works. There is state funding that is allocated to our CTE programs. Each of our programs gets a certain amount of funding every year to be able to use to make sure that everything they're using is up to date and giving them the best possible education. This is a request that is very much along those lines. We currently have a tabletop milling machine that is out of date. It's 15 years old, or I'm sorry, 12 years old, and it's working on a Windows XP operating system. So it is time for a new one. We are just asking to be able to purchase a new machine to be able to replace the aged out one using our added cost funds given to us by the state. Skill building information that the students are going to be able to work directly with. This milling machine is approximately this big. And they can make all sorts of little gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys out of a blank piece of metal or a blank piece of plastic. And it gives them the ability to learn how to program that machine and get it to make that automatically with that. And it also prepares them to move on to their bigger machine, which is the Haas machine that they have currently that is not this big. It is the size of that table. So it gives them a stepping stone and kind of scaffolds their ability to learn how to step up to that bigger machine and prepare them for the jobs that are going to be available to them that are in high demand. So the cost of this particular machine, this bundle with all the learning equipment on it is $5,804.05. They currently have plenty of money in that account given to us for the 61A added cost funding from the state, and we're just asking that you allow us to make that purchase.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? No? Seems pretty simple, so. All right, we'll bring the discussion back here.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and accept a motion on item number, we'll call it 4 still, so.
I move to approve the Medtronics mini CNC milling machine as presented in the amount of 5804.05.
I have a motion by Mr. Estheimer. Is there support?
Support?
Support by Mr. Lamas. Okay, I have motion and support. Is there any discussion?
This is more of that pass-through funding, right?
It is, and I don't want to speak for him, but I'm pretty sure there's money they have to spend down, so. This is true. Yeah, so it's not only is it. Right, not only is it not our money that we're just pushing through, it's money we have to spend or lose, so.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
Seems easy, but, okay. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Finishes up our action agenda, and it moves us to employee representatives. Are there any employee representatives who would like to speak tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to information announcements from the board. Is there anybody who has any? Dr. Pomponio.
Thank you. I have a couple of announcements. From the Park and Rec Commission, the golf course will be opening in the next few weeks. There's an ice show called A Night at the Disco. Show dates are April 22nd and through the 24th. And good luck to the varsity figure skating team competing at states March 26th and 27th. And also tennis, they won their scrimmage today, so I wanted to put that out there. And also that we've had a lot of wins this season in all sports, so I wanted to thank all of our coaches. And if I forget your name, I'm sorry, but I just want to name some of the coaches. Grabbitz, Dunholter, Sheets, Norcia, Furcus, Martin, Black, Dobeck, Sage, Cordero, and Saul. Pietz, Lemieux, Lapo, Hallow, Druzniak, Massengill, Colbergs, I'm so sorry if I messed that up, and Goddard. So thank you, coaches, because without you, they wouldn't have had those wins. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Estheimer.
I wanted to say first that, in fact, I saw Dr. Pomponio there, the Willy Wonka production, and what a fantastic show that was. So I wanted to say hats off to the stage crew as well as the actors that performed in that, and as well as our band. It was really a great show, great production. Thank you very much. Also, thanks to congratulations to our Winter Guard for their competition on the 20th, and they have one coming up on the 27th as well. And then the 25th, the robotics, you're going to be judging that, correct? Yes, we have a robotics competition coming up, so good luck to them. And then one more thank you or congratulations from my friend Mr. Green to the cheerleaders who have left. I'm sorry, Andy. But he wanted to offer his congratulations to them as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Freitas.
I just had a question on the